We're going to put up 50 points, UCF.
Holy crap.
Bro, we put up 56.
50 points.
We put up 56 against SC State last year, and our season was mediocre. So we are definitely scoring at least 50 points this year.
Wow.
We're scoring 50.
Wow.
And they're scoring 6.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Knights Sportsnet. My name is Hunter, and right beside me is my good friend G. And we're just a couple of dudes who love UCF sports and want to give you all the inside scoop, break down every game, and just talk some sports.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. I mean, it's currently 11. I can't even read. It's 11:19 right now. On a Saturday night, we're at a friend's house. We're both gassed, but we're going to make it through this video. This is going to be fun.
So we just want to produce just the best content. So we've just been staying up as long as possible to make sure we got everything down for you guys. So with that being said, we'll just jump right into it.
Let's jump right in. T-minus about 4.5 days. UCF and Kent State are going head-to-head at the Bounce House. Wanted to just take this time to review UCF's offense and defense. We could even talk about Kent State a little bit, but Kent State doesn't, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I mean, I've already checked out the betting lines. The line is right now it's at minus 37. So
Minus 37.
Yeah, but we'll get into a little bit of later of why that is. So
Yes. But anyways, let's start with UCF's offense. So UCF's offense has been, Coach Gus Malzahn's been putting a lot of work in the offseason, recruiting players left and right, but I think we should talk about the head of the offense, which is JRP, predominantly because last year he was a little inconsistent, a little questionable at times. Mikey Keene came in for about 2 games, did very well when Plumlee was injured. However, we did get a new offensive coach named Darren Hinshaw, who's been working with Plumlee on his footwork and his passing game to get the ball to the receivers more. Because last year he only had 14 touchdowns with 5 interceptions, which is not big numbers. But I'm hoping that JRP can put up some good numbers this year. So, yeah.
what I will say, though, about when it comes to JRP is that he's not just your regular mobile quarterback. This dude also happens to be on the UCF baseball team. And so being able to be on the outfield, I've played baseball before. And so I know that, being out there, you got to be quick on your feet. And that all that hard work that he puts on the baseball field also transitions to the football field. Just being able to read the defense very efficiently and on the dot, and just being able to move as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
To escape out of the pocket in case there's pressure. But yeah, JRP is not your typical quarterback, and he's somebody that the entire nation should be able to watch and enjoy, just as we get the chance to do every time we play at home.
Yeah. I would say arguably probably the most athletic quarterback in the country, or I don't know, top 3, just because he's such a good runner and he's so agile. I think he played linebacker and wide receiver for a bit during his career. That's what he said. So he's used to the tackling. He's not going to shy away from it. That's one thing I was scared of, was that he never slides, and we need him to not get injured this year because he needs to step up. But I think my biggest thing, though, with JRP is that he needs to throw the ball to our receivers more and not be so one-sided and one-dimensional. Great runner. He put up over 800 rushing yards last year, but we got great receivers too. Javon Baker played at Alabama for a little bit. Got another guy like Kobe Hudson. And then we got another Marshall transfer. And so I think really if JRP can run the ball and throw the ball, then UCF would be devastating on offense, and we would win games in Big 12 because there's some important games coming up this year. Kent State, probably not one of those games, but guys like TCU, Kansas State. So I think it's really about JRP having good vision and just opening up his eyes and his hips seeing the field and getting it to those receivers.
I do think that when it also transitions over to the NFL, also we've seen over the past few years just how much the quarterback position has evolved to the point where you got guys like Lamar Jackson who were able to escape the pocket so quickly and so efficiently, and even guys like Josh Allen who were not afraid to take hits and just being able to escape the pocket and just going for it instead of just sticking in the pocket like a regular Tom Brady would, where he would just sit in the pocket, read, and then throw the ball. But yeah, in the past, I think that UCF has had quite the trend, I think, of having quarterbacks who were able to escape the pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back and you look at people like Blake Bortles, Mackenzie Milton was a stud.
Yep.
And now we got JRP who can do the same, and hopefully he can produce and get us some more wins this season.
Right. Absolutely. I think just the fact that you mentioned escaping the pocket is a good transition for the next thing we should talk about, and that's the run game. Obviously, big loss that Isaiah Bowser is going off to the NFL, off to the Bills to join actually Gabe Davis, which is a big alumni for UCF. However, I don't really think it's that big of a deal because we did get another running back in the offseason, along with Richardson and Harvey. Every single one of our running backs is super fast and super agile. Every one of them are patient, can get into space. Our running game was the best in the conference last year, and that was with the running backs and JRP. So I think really the rotation between Bowman, Richardson, and Harvey is going to be great because, one, they won't get tired as easily in the game, and two, it'll mix it up as well, so the defense is not going to see it coming. And I think this is really going to be important because unpredictability is definitely going to be key in the Big 12 for sure. Can't be predictable.
And I will add, when we're on the subject of running backs, the Big 12 is also known for running backs as well, and so we get to join that group of people. Like last year, you talk about guys like Bijan Robinson, who's a top pick in this year's NFL draft, and you can go back to, back in the day, you talk about Adrian Peterson of Oklahoma, and Barry Sanders of Oklahoma State. Just those big name running backs. I feel like UCF can also be in that topic, and we can sit back and be like, yeah, UCF had some great guys at running back too. You can stay in the same conversation as those guys, even though it might seem insane at the moment, but but it's possible. We'll see.
Yeah, I think we can do it. Honestly, we did it last year. I don't really see. The only thing really is that our offensive line has got to do their job. I would say they were a little inconsistent last year. You'd see us winning games like Cincinnati, which was a huge win for us, but then you'd see us going down against Navy or against Tulane at the tail end of the season.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Or even USF. I remember us being up. I don't even want to talk about that, but I don't know. Alec Hall was a superhero on that game. Yeah, I think our run game is going to be key for this year. But honestly, I kind of already touched on the receivers. Baker, Hudson, Ryan O'Keefe is gone off to Boston College. However, I think Xavier Towns is going to be an important addition. Mm-hmm. He was big on special teams. We got a senior from Marshall. His name's Corey Gamage. Gamage had 774 receiving yards last year with 7 touchdowns. So right around the same stats as Baker and Hudson. So I think he'll fit right into JRP's throwing style and just the style of the offense as a whole.
Yeah.
The defense. All right, so my hot take on the defense last year was...
You're going to hot takes already?
Yeah, I am throwing the hot takes already because I think UCF's defense got a lot of hate last year. If I'm being completely honest, like if you look at the games and you look at how many points the defense allowed, most of them, like the defense didn't... I think it was like less than 20 points most of the games last year. Something like that. I don't know. Our defense was underrated. I think we had great DBs. We had great pass rushers, but I think they have a lot more potential. Obviously, we lost players. We lost like our defensive leader in John Baptiste. However, I think I'm confident in our defense, and I think, especially with our DVs and their man coverage, I mean, UCF's known to put some of the best cornerbacks in the league, like Shaquille Griffin or Jacoby Glenn or AJ Bouye. So I'm confident in our defensive backs wholeheartedly, but I think we need more turnovers. I think there's a lot more potential with our defense.
I mean, it's like they say, defense wins championships, and you seem pretty bold on that hot topic there. And so,
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you're willing to stick for it, then it's like we'll go for defense wins championships. I mean, we raved about the offense not too long ago, and now we're putting our foot down. Well, you were putting your foot down.
I am putting my foot down on the defense. Yeah.
On defense.
I'm confident in our defense. I think it got. I don't think it got the respect it deserved last year. If I'm being honest, except for the last like 3 or 4 games of the year, we kind of fell apart. Other than that, I think our defense.
There was definitely times where I was disappointed in the defense.
Okay.
Just because like I know that they can do better. There's a difference between knowing that they can do better and just being disappointed in that, and then just them being terrible.
Yeah, that's true.
They weren't terrible. It's just the potential that they have, and to just be able to watch and be like, seriously, you just let that guy run like 30 yards? Like,
yeah.
Especially when you play a team like Navy.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, as harsh as a topic it was, like they moved the game to, what was it, like noon?
It started at noon.
I think it might have been earlier than that. Like tailgating started at like
tailgating started early in the morning on that Saturday.
Regardless of that, you still let the midshipmen? Yeah, I think that's what they call it. The Navy midshipmen.
Yeah.
As always that sounds. You allowed them to be able to run. They didn't. I think the quarterback only passed 5 times, and so to be able.
He was a good runner too.
Yeah,
he was a good runner.
That's the thing.
They
didn't stop the run.
That's
the only thing. They are dynamic in the run game. They allowed that, and they lost the game.
Right.
Which is the game that they should have won. Those games they should have won, their defense is the thing that held them behind.
Yeah, true.
So that's why I also think it's a hot take that she said that. Not saying you're wrong necessarily. I'm just saying, on a personal level, I just think it's quite the bold topic, just because we know how good they can be. We've seen how good UCF's defense has been in the past. I mean, everybody just overlooks that defense.
Yeah.
It's mostly just looking at how their offense is, with just being able to throw the ball down the field and someone being able to catch it, whether the big name Gabe Davis out in Buffalo now.
Yeah.
The defense for sure is something that is overlooked, and I'm glad that you brought up the defense. Even though I mean, we expect big things.
We do,
especially going into the Big 12, which is a huge step academically and athletically for UCF going forward. And so yeah, I'm with the way that the Big 12 is. It's very high-powered offense from Texas and Oklahoma, TCU. Oklahoma State can really get in there.
TCU was in Final Four last year, right?
Yeah. There you go.
TCU
See, that's
gonna be our probably.
Regardless if people thought that they shouldn't have deserved it, but that's besides the point.
That don't matter.
Big 12 is known for that high-powered offense, and so that defense is what's going to try to get them over the hump to get that respect that UCF football deserves.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think our defense was. I think the big thing last year with our defense specifically was red zone defense. Mm-hmm. However, I don't know. I'm just not comfortable in having a good red zone defense because you let the team get all the way down to the field, all the way down the field inside the 20-yard line, and that has every single fan in the stadium shaking their boots.
Shaking in their boots.
Yeah, bro.
Shaking in their boots.
Bro, I don't like it when it's 4th and goal on the 2-yard line.
I mean, the stadium is known for the bounce house, but when you're shaking in your boots, it's a whole different story.
No, but what I'm saying though is like, how do I say this?
You don't want to mess yourself when they're down on the 5-yard line and the game's on the line and you're having to watch and be like,
Yes,
are they going to be able to stop them?
And it's like first and goal, second and goal, like the waiting and the anticipation, and then they take a timeout,
Definitely.
and then you have more waiting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
patience.
Yeah, but I will say we did get a big transfer on defense.
Oh yeah,
did get a big transfer. Yeah, DeCorian Patterson came from not a very well known school, MTSU, but he was tied for first in picks last year. And he was actually a good replacement for Devad Wilson, who was our leading DB in picks last year. So I think if we get him activated, and he could do just a little bit better than he did last year. Granted, Tennessee State University was nowhere near the competition of Big 12. However, this was one of our biggest transfers and our biggest picks up this offseason. And then you got guys like Morris Brash and Jason Johnson who need to do exactly what they did last year. But everyone on defense has got to follow what they're doing. So Jason Johnson had 120 tackles last season. We need more players putting big numbers up like that, not just one linebacker. That makes sense. And then Tremont Morris Brash, probably our best pass rusher with 6 sacks and a lot of sacks for loss. I think we need other guys like Ricky Barber or off the top of my head, I can't think of them right now, but we need those guys to step it up too and put more numbers on the sacks and the sacks for loss. Yeah. I think that's all we got on defense.
Yeah. So I guess with that being said, we'll jump right into a little bit of preview of Week 1 opponent for UCF, which is the Kent State
Golden Flames.
Golden Flames.
Golden Flames.
Sorry, not Flames. Golden Flames. Emphasis on the golden. Kent State last year, not a team that, is popping up on the bottom of your screen on the ESPN, upsetting teams like left and right. Last year they posted up a 5-7 record, so they just missed bowl eligibility. They also, with that being said, were 4-4 in the conference. I do remember last year when Kent State went down to Athens and played up against Georgia. And to be honest, when I was watching that game, that offense that they had last year was very dynamic and was able to put the ball down the field and actually be a little competitive, which scared me a little bit. I know that my cousin, who was a huge Georgia Bulldogs fan, shout out to my cousin Drew. Even just watching that game, I can just feel the anticipation of that game. Like, are we seriously just like going neck and neck with Kent State? Eventually, Georgia obviously stepped on their throat.
Crushed their necks.
Still. But last year, they were led by quarterback Colin Schlee. Man, that's a weird name.
Yeah, it's
anyways,
weird.
QBR, I think his QBR was 66.3 or 4, which I believe was about 47th in the entire country, which isn't too bad. But unfortunately for the Golden Flames, though, he transferred to UCLA. So with that being said, Kent State's looking for their quarterback to be able to step up, whoever that may be. And that also goes along for their leading rusher and their leading wide receiver. Both are gone.
So all 3 big offensive players.
So all the big 3 names that you would have seen for Kent State, the Golden Flames, are now gone. And so with Kent State, it's all about just figuring out who's going to step up and who's going to be that leader that they needed to be able to compete with teams. Even though it's, the first few weeks are those those games where you schedule a lower, no-name opponent, but still just being able to go out and compete and get ready for their own conference. So honestly, I'm not that worried. I mean, especially with your hot take about how you're really putting faith in UCF's defense.
Oh yeah.
I'm not entirely that worried. I don't see them putting up a lot of points. I see them probably max putting up, I'll go with 17 points. Two touchdowns and a field goal. I'll give them that.
Okay.
The line the last time I checked was minus 37. And so I'll stay with you on the defense and say that the defense holds it down, but the first few jitters, especially with the first game that UCF is playing, with the stands and all that, the bounce house rocking, all the 8,000 new freshman students arriving. It's certainly going to be an interesting atmosphere.
Yeah.
But also, the defense for Kent State is also nothing to necessarily rave about. And I'm not just saying all these things about Kent State, the offense, the defense, to be a hater or to just knock them off. But I don't really have high expectations for this opponent for UCF. I feel like this game, if it was played last year, would definitely be something that I would pay attention to a lot more. Just given how Kent State has been known to be that high-scoring offense and be able to compete with teams that you would least expect to be able to compete with. But yeah, I'm not expecting a whole lot from this game. I really want to take this game as like a game to really analyze UCF and exactly how far we can go this year. And so that's personally just my thoughts on Kent State as a whole, offense and defense, and how I have strong faith that UCF will cover the spread on Thursday.
Yeah, that's well said. Honestly, I like what you said about, I totally agree. Like, I'm not really concerned of win or lose for UCF. I think UCF's definitely going to beat them. What I am concerned of, though, is how is it going to prepare us for the rest of the season? So, like, we had SC State last year. We got some more audience members coming in right now. But we had SC State last year. You can make a cameo if you want. We had SC State last year.
This is
Fry Guy, everybody. Everybody needs to go check out Fry Guy. He'll be featured.
You want to drop your Instagram handle real quick, or your Be Real if you really want to?
I really want to.
Go ahead.
Speak loud and clear.
UCF Fry Guy.
And can they follow you on Instagram at all? Is that possible?
Or do you want to keep it private? Or?
Daniel Middleton 75.
Okay. And there you have it.
Fry Guy.
UCF Fry Guy and Daniel Middleton 75. Go follow. All right? Anyways, back to what I was saying.
Back to the scheduled programming.
So, last year, UCF went against SC State the first game. 56-10, we win. But I remember that game, though, because we destroyed the team. And everybody, I don't know what's going on right now. But literally everyone was like, okay, UCF's going to be great this year. We're going to win so many games. We're going to be the toughest team in the conference. But it didn't quite go like that. So I think for this game against Kent State, we really need to lock in and know that this is going to probably be the easiest team that we will play all year, easily. However, we got to use this game as a blueprint for how we're going to play the rest of the season on offense, defense, and special teams. And I will say another thing for Kent State, kind of with what you were saying on their offense, is that they got a completely new coach as well.
That too, I forgot about that part.
His name.
My mistake.
You're fine. You're fine. We forgive you. Kenny Burns is the first-year head coach at Kent State. However, he has been forced with limited options on both offense and defense. So like what Hunter was saying on how they lost both their quarterback, their running back, and their receiver, now Kenny Burns is like, okay, what on earth do I have now? So he's got to really look at his options against UCF and for the rest of the season. yeah. Other than that, I am excited for this game. I'm not really sure if many people are going to go to it. Are you going?
Oh, I'm sure people will show up regardless. Night Nation always pulls up and has a great time, and
It's the Big 12. Come on.
yeah, especially the new. It's a new season. It's a new year. It's a homecoming, a long-awaited homecoming.
That's in like 3 months.
Well, no, when I mean homecoming, I'm talking about like we wanted to get to this part where we're getting respect.
Homecoming. Yeah, I got you. There's a difference.
Big 12.
Burp coming up.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, we are.
So I kind of mentioned about what I think Kent State's going to score, but let's how about we just throw in some score predictions real quick?
Score predictions. Ooh, oohs and ahs all around. Okay. You said 17.
I said 17.
Kent State scoring no more than 17.
No more than 17.
Okay. Well, I will say.
And also, I mean, we got video evidence and proof about how you're standing your ground for this defense. So I would love, especially with them not having their big 3-headed monster from last season.
Yeah, that's a good point.
With the new coach that you added, I would love to see how much faith you have in the Golden Flames.
Okay. I'm going to say. All right. UCF. We're gonna put up 50 points. UCF.
Holy crap!
Bro, we put up 56.
50 points.
We put up 56 against SC State last year, and our season was mediocre. So we are definitely scoring at least 50 points this year.
Wow.
We're scoring 50.
Wow.
And they're scoring 6.
Wow. Well, I said you were bold. I didn't mean you were that bold, but good Lord have mercy.
We're scoring 50. They're scoring 6. How many do you think we're scoring?
I was gonna say because it's first game jitters, and we're just coming out of the camp. I would have to go with, I think, minimum. I'll go with minimum. I would say UCF scores a minimum of 35 points. I'll say that. A minimum.
35?
A minimum of 35 points.
Oh, minimum. I'm not paying attention.
Yeah.
Golly, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we got you.
Bro,
If
I
I
know.
would have said
Bro,
max,
it's almost
then
midnight.
then you would have had that good reaction. But
Okay, yeah.
I'm saying minimum just because we kind of know what to expect from our quarterback. We also have the transfers, and we have some new people, and it's the first game of the season. Just like I remember when they played against Boise State.
I did think about it.
Just that the first game of the season and all the weather delays, because Florida, it's something else.
Yeah.
Florida weather off and on. It'll rain when it's bright and sunny outside and give you a sunburn. Well, never mind. I stopped myself from how I could have worded that.
He could have. Dang.
But yeah, I'm going with a minimum of 35 points. I think that I have faith in the offense. I played receiver, and so I love watching the offense side of the game. But yeah, I'm expecting a minimum of 35 points. I would say a max, maybe 48. I won't go all the way up to 50. I think if they got that safety, maybe 50. But I'll say a max of 48.
Okay.
And that's all just because it's the first game of the season, and we as fans don't know what they're gonna put out just yet.
Yeah.
And we don't know exactly how nervous they're gonna be, but it'll be an entertaining game to say the least.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you. I wonder if it got that.
I'm sure
It probably did. It probably did. Yeah. It's gonna be fun though. Personally, I got wait. Honestly, we got some big plans though. Like not just this podcast that we're filming, but like
We got good plans.
we got good plans. Yes.
Won't
Yeah.
he do it?
Won't he do it? He has good plans.
Amen.
Amen. I will say, we got good plans, though, not just this podcast. We're going to be going around, interviewing people. I don't know what's so funny, but we're going to be going around, interviewing people before the games, doing that sort of thing, asking them some fun questions, maybe doing a little giveaway. Ooh. Free Chick-fil-A.
I would love me some Chick-fil-A. That's God's chicken right there.
Yeah. Free merch. I don't know.
Free merch.
Stay tuned.
Wow.
Maybe.
We'll see.
You gotta show up to the games. Be at the bounce house. You gotta get there early, though.
Yeah.
This guy, you can't see him, but he's getting at the game at like 3 p.m., right?
Oh, yeah. Fry Guy's getting on that bowl, that mechanical bowl, and showing that bowl with the box.
Fry Guy gonna be ready.
Fry Guy's always ready.
Fry Guy's always ready.
I love Fry Guy.
Fry Guy was talked about by RG3 last year. Fry Guy got roasted by RG3 last year.
Oh,
Do you not remember
we
that?
didn't have to go that far.
No, but I gotta let
We're
him.
trying to hype him up, and then all of a sudden you're
I'm
like,
sorry, but it's
Robert Griffin
RG3.
III,
It's
the
RG3.
Heisman winner. Baylor,
RG3 who played for Baylor, one of the Big 12 teams. I'm sorry, Dan.
and won a Heisman.
I'm sorry. And he won a Heisman.
Catch him on the Nissan Heisman House.
Didn't have a big career in the NFL though.
Oh, that was because of injuries, though. That was because of no. The
No.
Redskins field is terrible. Thankfully,
You are
they got
right.
a new owner.
You are right.
That
The
field's
Redskins. It's
terrible.
not the Redskins anymore. It's the Commanders.
Sorry, I apologize. We're gonna bleep that out.
Sorry. Actually, I'm not gonna say that.
What's that thing that UCF says about?
They say a lot of things. Go Knights,
They
charge
do
on.
say a lot of things, but they also have a very distinctive song.
They got a lot of songs.
Yeah.
Ayo.
Well, that's not
Talking
their
out the
song.
side of your neck. Ay. That's my favorite one. What?
You're really in your element right now. Let me see.
Oh, Zombie Nation. Wait.
And that's going to do it for us with Knights Sportsnet. I hope you enjoyed this first episode. Again, my name is Hunter, and that's G.
Peace.